All right, let's get started. As everybody knows, my name is Adam Frey Shihan. I'm the head instructor of WaSenShiKan Dojo. This is our COVID online classes, and today what we are going to be working on is we're going to be working on doing kata at home, because it's actually a little different than doing kata in the dojo, as well as how we can modify it so it works. Specifically, we are actually going to be working on Tomari Seisan today, because that was, as I told you last time, a good friend of mine, Guyle Corely, passed away. Tomari Seisan was his Tokucho kata. So it's one of the reasons we're going to be doing it. All right, but to get started, everybody gets get. And right. Terminate. All right. All right, let's get warmed up. Ease up.
In my flip-flops.
All right, 20 jumping jacks. Everybody ready? Hajime. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4. 4, 2, 3, 4. 5, 2, 3, 4. 6, 2, 3, 4. 7, 2, 3, 4. 8, 2, 3, 4. 9, 2, 3, 4. 10, 2, 3, 4. 11, 2, 3, 4. 12, 2, 3, 4. 13, 2, 3, 4. 14, 2, 3, 4. 15, 2, 3, 4. 16, 2, 3, 4. 17, 2, 3, 4. 18, 2, 3, 4. 19, 2, 3, 4. 20, 2, 3, stop. After that, push-ups. Push-up position. On my count. Each. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Rook. Sechi. Hachi. Kyu. Jiu. Hey. Feet. Gonna work that balance again. So knee up squats. Starting with your left leg. So get your feet slightly wider than shoulders. Down. Up. Hold. Knee. Oh, I went too far. San. Shi. Go. Rook. Sechi. Hachi. Kyu. Hold it. Jiu. And down. Huggers. Up. Into the waist, big circles. Other way. The other knees. Other way. Get. Yo. Stepping forward with your right leg into Seisan stance. Got it. Leg raises. Each. Knee. San. Shi. Go. Rook. Sechi. Hachi. Kyu. Jiu. Hey. Seichi, Hachi, Kyo, Jab, hey. Yummy. Press. Take that back up. Stepping out with your right leg, left hand single, ki iron for single, hut, hike, knee, san, shi, go, work, seichi, hachi, kyo, jab, hike, doubles, each, knee, san, shi, go, work, seichi, hachi, kyo, jab, risings, each, ni, san, shi, go, rook, seichi, hachi, kyo, jab. Combinations, each, ni, san, shi, go, rook, seichi, hachi, kyo, jab, hey, inside block punch, each, ni, san, shi, go, rook, seichi, hachi, kyo, jab, hey, other side, each, ni, san, shi, go, rook, seichi, hachi, kyo, jab, hey, block punch punch, each, ni, san, shi, go, rook, seichi, hachi, kyo, jab, hey, other side, each, ni, san, shi, go, work, seichi, hachi, kyo, jab, hey, high-low punching, each, ni, san, shi, go, work, seichi, hachi, kyo, jab, hey, high middle low, each, ni, san, shi, go, work, seichi, hachi, kyo, jab, hey, crossings, each, ni, san, shi, go, work, seichi, hachi, kyo, jab, hey, no man, press, kit, and right. Go ahead and grab yourself some water. I'm going to, and then we'll get to it. One fun thing for all my students been with me a while to show, I'll get real close to the camera so you can see. I'm growing my hair out for quarantine. So you'll actually see me with some hair going forward.
Yes.
I don't know how long I'll let it go, but I'll have hair before I'm done. All right, looks like everybody's ready. So, kata, specifically Tomari Seisan, and how we do it in an enclosed space. Now, kata, if you are by yourself, don't have somebody to practice with. Kata is one of the best things you can do. I'm not going to go into exactly what kata is. Everybody who is on this call right now knows, and that's not the point of this video anyway. One thing I do talk about though, and this I do want to emphasize before I go forward, in the URKA, the official katas, the 12 basic katas, no kata has any techniques that aren't fundamental techniques. There are different variations of them, but if you know, if you have, with the exception I think of like Shudo, if you can do exercises 1, 2, 3, you can do every kata. There's just all there is to it. They're not harder. The katas, like each individual kata, may be more or less complex, and that's its own thing. But for example, one of the last katas you learn, Nisei Shi, is actually pretty simple. It repeats itself a whole bunch. So it's pretty easy to memorize. So we're going to do Tomari Seisan today, and specifically everything we've done in exercises 1, 2, and 3, they have parallels inside Tomari Seisan, and you should be able to do it. Now, for those of you who know Tomari, you're probably sitting there going, how am I going to do Tomari Seisan? A kata which I move forwards, backwards, side to side. I move all over the place in a small little space. Well, the simple answer is we cheat. We use our footwork to mimic the energy movement and what we're doing without actually taking too many steps. That's how we do it. So, before we even get into the kata, we're going to look at Seisan and how to do Seisan without going forward, but to still move forward. All right, so everybody gets hit. Yo. Everybody step forward with your right foot into Seisan stance, right? So we're in a Seisan stance. Front leg is bent, back leg is straight, both feet are pointed forward. Our feet are approximately shoulder width. I'm actually going to widen up a bit so you can see this better. So the first part of Tomari Seisan, pretty quick, we move forward. I can tell you right now, I'm pretty much out of the room. I am almost off my mat. So if I do that, and then the next thing is I go forward and I am completely off my mat. You can't see me, my head's cut off, cat's coming to join it, everything's going all over. So how do I do that? Well, get back in that Seisan stance. And what you're going to do is you're going to do a Seisan foot change, which we've all done. The only difference is I want you to pay attention to the movements that go forward, and I want you to emphasize that. So instead of very slowly and statically coming up, stepping, coming back, stepping back, we're going to do that foot change, but keep our energy going forward. And it really is just as simple as imagine your energy is going forward even as you do this. And I'll explain some biomechanics. So everybody go ahead and do a quick foot change, and I want you to think about attacking as you do it. Everybody ready? Go ahead. What happened? It wasn't slow, I didn't bob. My torso stayed the same mostly. And you watched my foot movements going forward. Moving this foot back was almost a way I can use the other energy. Remember, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction to go forward. Keep that in mind. It doesn't matter what stance you're doing when you do that. If your intention is to go in a direction, even if you're not moving, you can. Like right now, if I try to go forward, I'm going to run into my cat. So I don't want to do that. But I want to practice that. So everybody go ahead, put your arms out in front of you, and this will help you feel it. I want you to do a Seisan stance foot change, arms forward. Think about all of your energy being out here. Everybody ready? Go ahead. Do you feel it? You feel that your weight is going this way. When you look at it from the side, you can actually see it a lot more. Let me move so you can see my feet. So when I do that, you can see I'm actually pushing everything forward. If I just do a static foot change, there's none of that. By keeping my weight and my energy forward, like in a good forward stance, you can feel, and it's hard to see in the camera, but a lot of the people, once you you just got to get that intention and then you feel it, you feel the movement going forward. You can do it. And that's how you can do foot changes instead of stepping forward. It's the same thing when you're in Naihachi. If I, in Naihachis, whoop, I just ran out of room. So instead, I'm going to step I'm gonna pull my foot here, but I'm gonna put this foot back. But I'm sinking in this way. So when I do it quickly, my energy is still going that way. When you add that speed and you add that weight, remember number 5, weight lead model, that's how you can work on that kata without ever really changing where you're at. Whether it's because you're running out of room where you don't want to kick your cat, you can keep going in the same spot. So, everybody kind of understand that? Any questions? It's going to take practice. It feels weird. Do I see a hand up or nope? Okay. All right, so we're going to do Tomari Seisan, and we're going to do it in the same spot you're in. So if you do all these things, you should be roughly in the same spot the whole time. And I can't do this one backwards, so I'm not even going to try. So everybody gets get. Ryukyu Karachi Do, Tomari Seisan no kata. Good. Yoi. It's a traditional kata, so left foot comes out. All right, first thing we're going to do is we're going to step out with our right foot, and we're going to put our hands into that guard position. Now, this next move, if you've been practicing exercise 1, shouldn't be too weird. You're going to hit with your left hand and pull it back. Well, we've done this hit in exercise 1 every time we do that transition. It's the same thing. We're hitting in, and then we're going to pull back. And then we're going to punch. And then back into the guard position. Now we'll step forward, but instead of stepping forward, we're going to do a foot change. Now we're going to do that hit again, but with the other hand, and pull it back. And this hit is called a toteme hit. It's the big, heavy hit. This isn't a quick setup jab. This is a ender hit. Right. And you're going to pull it back, slow, and then hit. Those hitting movements, everybody can relax for a second, are insides. That's all they are. I've seen people try to make them way too complicated. If you can do an inside, you can do that hit. That's all it is. We're just not going all the way up to answer the phone in there. We're just hitting. So ahead, kids catch. Yoink. Right foot forward, into the guard. And remember, when you go through to that guard position, hands go to the center line and then they pass off. Now we're in a good Seisan guard. Hit, pull, punch, and then hit. There's 3 strikes right there. See, step forward. Hit, pull, big hit, right. Slow pull back. Now we're going to see step forward again. Hit, pull, punch, hit. Now, relax. That sequence is one of the most important if you are an aggressive Bogu Kumite. One person who does this a lot, I don't think he realizes how often he does this, is Shihan. Those of you who are Bogu'd with Shihan have felt him knock your hand aside and then come in with a flurry. And that is exactly what this is. So.
Tail.
Yep, you see my cat's tail. He's on my wife. He's hanging out with my wife right now. So.
Fat kitty.
So that hit is super critical because that can be a strike to clear a guard. That can be a hit that sets up the punch that comes in. That can be a grab to pull their hand out of the way and then pull through and punch. Either way, getting to the point where that is fluid, remember, Vute, flowing hands, is important. Too many people get too choppy on this. So, let's get yo. See, step forward. Hit, pull, punch, hit. See, step forward. Hit, pull, big punch. Hi. Slow pull back, hit. See, step forward. Hit, pull, punch, hit. Now we're going to cross, just like the Black Panther position, and pull back. Our right hand is going to throw an uppercut. Our left hand is going to throw a straight punch. All right? When they're side by side, you're hitting at the same time. You're hitting One into the hollow point in the shoulder, the other into the floating ribs. That's the standard way. This strike, the double punch, the double forward punch, can be made much smaller. And then what happens is you're hitting basically the same target, but you're just hitting it with both hands. Or it can shift to wherever the opening is. If they're used to like a standard boxer's guard, I get hit people with this all the time when they get too hung up into like the boxer's guard, because it's not good at hitting both those places. Who knows what technique is great for stopping that double punch? Go ahead and do it in the camera if you have a guess. I see one person doing it right, I see two people. Yep, doubles. Because a double doesn't care. A double catches the one low and catches the one high. Almost like it's what it's designed to do. So back to the beginning. York. C-step. Hit, pull, punch, hit. Foot change. Hit, pull, punch, hit. That should have been big and hard. Foot change. Hit, pull, punch, hit. Cross, pull, double punch forward. Now, we're going to do two doubles. Because this is the attack, and then we got to defend it. Double, double. All right? Good. Pull in. Now this, we're getting into clinch work here. Clinching, remember, is super close. We're grabbing onto each other. This move, the double into that clinch, I have done that so many times when I've transitioned into a clinch. You get one arm underneath theirs, you get another arm wrapping around, and then you just pull them in. And boom, you got them. They're all tied up, they're in tight, you have them controlled. So, double, double, pull. Now this is hard, you can't hear it, but remember, this, I should hear it when I'm by you. I don't want you to murder yourself. I don't want to, whoa, oh my gosh, I hit myself in the chest so hard it hurts. But it's not, it's hard. Because you're pulling in hard. And if you've ever tried to clinch up with somebody who doesn't want to be clinched up, you know you got to yank them. Then you're going to thrust down. That is all kinds of different techniques. So let's go back to the beginning. And here I am doing Tomari Seisan. And I am still in the same little spot that I was in before. It's just fun. So kids get joy. See, step forward. Hit, pull, punch, hit. See, step forward, remember, so that's just a foot change. Hit, pull, big hit, height, slow pull back, ha. Foot change. Hit, pull, punch, hit. Black Panther position, pull. Double punch, double, double. Pull, thrust. Good. One more time. Okay. York. See, step forward. Hit, pull, punch, hit. See, step forward. Hit, pull, punch. Slow pull, hit. See, step forward. Hit, pull, punch, hit. Cross pull. Double punch. Double, double. Pull. Thrust. Now we're going to do a technique called the harai. You're going to pull back, and the lead knee is going to come up. So that's your harai. Boom. All right? There's all kinds of application in there. We're either segueing into a throw, or we've just pushed them down, so their head's down here, and then we're going to pull them in and knee them. Now, one thing about that pull in with that harai, you have to push your weight back. You're picking your front foot up. But a common mistake I see, and then people stumble, is they'll harai and they'll go down. Let your hips go forward. You push down here, you pull. If I do it sideways, I'm here, my hips are forward. That's what you want on that harai. You don't want, you're down here. You see how my head is in front of my hips? I'm kind of smooshed in. It feels, some people think it feels more balanced that way. I disagree. Once you get your hips in the right spot, you can stay there all day long. All right, I'm gonna grab the camera so we hurrah. Then we're gonna put this foot down and we're gonna do a front leg turn. Now I'm gonna do that part backwards, so I'm gonna turn around and face the camera. So here, I do my hurrah, do a front leg turn. As I turn, this hand comes out and attacks the center line, right into the eyes of the opponent. This hand comes down here. I call these kind of strikes sneaky hits. They are designed to just go and attack. That's a quick, just like these are covers. This, I don't want you to think too much about it. It's you're poking them in the eye. It's you're just reaching your hand out so you can grab something. It's you're shoving them away. It can be any of those things. It's attack to the center line, specifically the eye area. Don't make it any harder than it is. This hand that's down here is in front of your leg. Then you're going to sink, and this hand's going to get tucked back here. So let's do that again. I'm going to turn around. So you all can turn around too. So you're down, your hurrah, front leg turn, sneaky hit, sink. I'm going to scoot over some of the little camera. Now we're going to have to work those foot changes again. When we come up, we're going to, pretty much we're going to do a double. We're going to cut our hand on the inside, and then we're going to hit this hand coming down onto their collarbone as we hit here. And this is in front of the leg again. When Claire first learned this, and this is what it has become in our dojo, she said it's like a sushi, you're holding a sushi platter. And I have always taught it that way from this point on. You got your sushi platter, your hand should be flat. All right, this is coming down like it has weight in it. And then we're going to dump the sushi platter on the floor. This hand comes back here and hides. We're going to do another one. As we come up, boom, this comes through the collarbone, right here. That's what I want you to think about. And then sink. All right? We're going to go to the first part. I'm going to stop, turn around, and we'll do the second part. This is the way I can do this whole kata. This kata that I move around a whole bunch in this small little area. All right, get skate. Go. Step forward right now. Foot. Hit, pull. Punch, hit. See, step forward. Hit, pull. Big punch. Right. Slow pull back. Step forward. Hit, pull. Punch, hit. Cross, pull. Double punch. Double, double, pull, thrust. All right, now I'm going to turn around. Going to hurrah, step. See how big my step is? Turn, sneaky hit, sink. Foot change, cut, sushi platter, and sink. See step, cut, sushi platter, and sink. Now, next part. Are we all doing all right? Looks like it from where I'm seeing it. So we're going to pass, as I always call it. And we're just going to turn. This hand is in prime position to cover me this way. And I'm going to engage now with somebody who's on my left. I'm going to turn, and I'm going to engage with it. This does not have to be any harder than pick your foot up and move it. Just that easy. If it was the other way, we would just shift. If we're going this way, we just step. It's just that simple. Lots of people try to make this into some sort of weird, like, and you can add all kinds of covers into this, you know, but the footwork, boom, that's it. So we're here, we sink, move your right foot, go to your left. We're going to hurrah, and on those hurrahs, make sure you cover your groin. It's not just knees straight up, it's knee and across. One big thing, if you want to train with my instructor and make him mad, do this. Do a little hurrah, do it like that. Like, not enough to be like more than a shuffle, but not a real hurrah. He'll get mad. He'll be like, either you're shuffling or you're doing a hurrah. Don't kind of do halfway. So I want, and it's a hurrah. You come up, you land, punch, punch, punch. It's reverse punch, punch, reverse punch. 3 punches. And these are all Totome style punches. It's actually I take that back. The 2 reverse punches are Totome, the regular punch is the setup. So right here, sink, cover, hurrah, big punch, setup punch, big punch. You can see my body's getting into it. I'm not just boop, boop, boop. It's boom, boom, boom. Whole body, hip, everything. Now we're going to do a back leg turn. As you turn, cover, hurrah, reverse punch, punch, reverse punch. Now we're going to pivot. Good. We'll start from the beginning and go to there. None of these moves are terribly complicated. They're just hand positions. They're just pretty basic technique. If you look, you can find analogs for just about everything. This is just a low. Pulling it back here, that's just going into Kitsuke. You can find analogs for every single move inside exercise 1, 2, or 3. Nothing is super complicated here. Because it's all this big long kata, and people see weird moves, and the weirdest one is probably coming up here next. They think it has to be so hard. It's not. One of my favorite stories is a little woman was babysitting a little kid. She posted this online. And the little girl was like, I want to be an astronaut. And she's like, well, if you want to be an astronaut, you have to try really hard. You have to get good grades. You have to graduate from a good college, and then you have to get accepted into the astronaut program. And the little girl said, well, that's just 4 things. I can do that. And I love that, because that's karate. That's karate in a nutshell. If you sit here and you're like, oh my gosh, this is impossible, it will be impossible. Is karate difficult? Sure. But it's just, you know, a couple things here and there. You can make it not hard in your head, and then it's not hard. Doesn't mean you don't have to practice. So, Kitsuke, yoi. See, step forward, right foot. Hip pull, punch hit. Change. Hit, big hit. Slow pull. Foot change. Hip pull, punch hit. Cross pull. Double punch forward, double double. Pull, thrust. I'm going to hurrah. Front leg turn, sneaky hit. I'm going to turn around so you all can see. Hit and sink. Foot change. Boom, with the sushi platter and sink. Foot change. Boom, with the sushi platter and sink. Pass and cover. Hurrah. Reverse punch. Punch. Reverse punch. Back leg turn. Cover. Hurrah. Reverse punch. Punch. Reverse punch. Cover the face and pivot. Now, we're going to put this foot forward, and I'm going to back up so you can see my feet a little better. It's sideways. I am baiting them. I'm putting myself in a not great position. Either I did it on purpose, or I found myself in there, and I have to deal with it. But I'm going to take this, and I'm going to change it. I was in a Seisan. I put this here. I'm going to knee forward, and side kick and fall into a Nai-hop stance. And as you fall, you do a low. This is turning this awkward position. Uh-oh, I'm in a bad spot. Boom! No, I'm not. All right, so again, we're here, hand on the guard, feint, knee, side kick, low. And don't do what I just did and lean forward. I just caught myself leaning forward there. So don't do that. This one, it's hard to do without covering some ground. However, you don't have to make this feint a big, huge step. If you don't have a lot of room, can you just do this? Yeah, you can. And I'm still in my space. The idea behind it is that foot turn Normally, yes, just like every time else, we want to step forward, but if we just don't have the space, just turn your foot, bring that knee up, side kick, low. Boom. Now we're going to turn and go step with your left foot. You're just going to move your foot across and pivot, and now you're in a Seisan stance in the other direction. You're here, cover the face, boom. I'm going to rotate around so you can see. Same thing, if you don't have a lot of space, just bring that foot there. You got more space, bring it all the way through. I'm going to do the low space. And that's how I'm going to work. Boom. Knee, side kick, low. I'm still in that little square. I'm going to take this foot, and I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to tag it. Boom. That's a kick. That's also somebody grabbed my leg and I'm shoving their head down because they're trying to take me down and I don't want them to. Oh, any number of things. So you just bring that foot up. Once again, this is another one. Don't make it harder than it is. Kick your own hand. And then I always heard this referred to as the stinky toilet punch because you don't want to put your face in a stinky toilet. You want to keep your body up. And you punch down. So we were here. Boom. Stinky toilet punch. Now we're going to move this right foot all the way around. Boom. I'm going to Seisan stance again. I'm going to do that double punch forward, but my right hand is going to be high. My left hand is doing this. We pull back. This hand comes straight down. This hand covers our face, and our right foot steps out. All at the same time. Tight. You see how this cleared my face? Covered, but this is on my center line. Now I'm right. Press. Okay. And right. And that's how you do a kata with a cat in your room, or in a very small space. Any questions? I'll move a little closer so I can see hands. Any questions?
Graham has one.
Graham has a question. Go ahead, Graham.
So stinky toilet punch is basically like this part in the Shihan. You don't want to put your body up really far. You want to keep it in one position.
Yes, you want to keep your body down low. Correct. Correct. You don't want to like get up. Right. You're exactly correct. When you do that, after you do this kick, you don't want to do this. You don't want to raise up, but you don't want to bend. You are low. If you look at it from this angle, you can see my shoulders, my hips, and everything are down. I'm not up here, but I'm not bending over. That's the most important part. Don't bend over. You never want to bend over, but that's just a technique that it's really easy to. Yes, good pointing that out. Good talking about that. So, all right, any other questions? Nope. All right, let's do the whole kata again. And I'm going to do it in as small a space as possible without hopefully stepping on my cat. Ketsuke. Tomari Seisan no kata.
Hey.
Yoi. Right foot forward. Hit, pull, punch, hit. See, step forward. Hit, pull, big punch. Hut. Slow pull forward and hit. See, step forward. Hit, pull, punch, hit. Cross, pull, double punch, double, double, pull, thrust, harai, step, sneaky hit. I'm going to turn around so you can see. And sink. See, step forward, sushi platter, and sink. See, step forward, and sushi platter, and sink. I'm just going to move my foot. Harai, reverse punch, punch, reverse punch. Back leg turn, cover the face. Harai. Reverse punch, punch, reverse punch. Pivot. Feint. Knee, side kick, down. Move the foot. I'm just going to go ahead and turn around. Boom. Feint. Knee, side kick, down. Kick. Stinky toilet punch. Pull through. Double punch forward. Pull to the back foot. And drop. No man. Press. It's kick. Something to keep in mind about Tomari Seisan. it is way more aggressive than the Naihachi katas. It is about aggressively entering into somebody's space. How do you get into somebody's space hard and fast? That's why it opens with the moves it opens with. It comes in hard, it comes in fast. This does not necessarily mean you have to bulldoze people with it. If you can get good at this small footwork, this is where you get the weird enterings that come at kind of angles, where it's like they don't know exactly where you're coming from or how you're moving. It also lets you move around inside somebody's space and keep attacking them. So as they're trying to orient on you, if you keep that kind of same footwork we were just doing, they can't keep up. You're just going to keep hitting them. Tomari Seisan is one of my favorite katas. It is also one of the more important katas in the URKA. I've said this before, I'm going to say it again, and I'll say it 10,000 more times. When I go to camp and I watch what they ask black belts to show, 9 times out of 10, the 2 katas they want to see the most are Naihachi Shodan and Tomari Seisan. If you only do 2 katas well, and it's those 2 katas, you're doing pretty darn well for yourself. That if you can do those 2 katas effectively, you can strike very well. You can also grapple. There's a bunch of throws in Tomari too. They enter in and then you throw. Look for those movements. And that's also where those weird foot changes come into play and how you can throw somebody if you don't have a lot of space. Any other questions about Tomari? No? See shaking heads? No? No? Okay, good. All right, we're going to do it one more time and then we'll wrap up with the guiding principle. Let's get yawn. Really challenge yourself to stay as close to the same spot as possible. I'm going to stop and keep turning around so that way you guys can see me. You don't have to do that. If you want to stay facing whatever direction you are, go ahead. If you want to turn back when I do so you can keep seeing the camera and see me, absolutely okay too. But challenge yourself. Do it in as small a space as possible without sacrificing your stances. All right. Tomari Seisan no kata.
Hey.
Good. I'm already in, Yoi. Step forward. Hit, pull, punch, hit. See, step forward. And notice, I forgot to say this, I'm still doing the hand changes. I'm still doing the hand changes. Hit, pull, big punch. Right. Slow pull. See, step forward. Hit, pull, punch, hit. Cross, pull. Double punch forward. Double, double, pull. Thrust. Hurrah. Front leg turn. Sneaky hit. Now I'm going to turn around. And you see the sneaky hits right there, and sink. See, step forward, cut in. Get the sushi platter, and then sink. See, step forward, boom, and sink. Pass it off, turn, cover, hurrah. Reverse punch, punch, reverse punch. Back leg turn, cover the face, hurrah. Reverse punch, punch, reverse punch. Cover your face as you turn. Bait, knee, psychic, down. Move that foot. Now rotate again now so you can see me. Bait, knee, psychic, down. Hit. Sneaky turtle punch. Pull around. Punch. Pull to the back. Drop. Yame. Press. Escape. Good. I stayed in about a 3.5 foot by 3.5 foot area the whole time. So you can practice kata at home. This requires more footwork, and that footwork is good for you. Tomari Seisan is one of the more moving katas. I think the only kata that we do that moves around more than Tomari is probably Kusan-ku. Maybe Pinan Shoda. So you can do Tomari in that small space. You can do any kata at home. That's a big thing I hear people like, I don't have enough space. Yeah, you do. So, all right, continuing our quest on the guiding principles. We are up to my favorite, guiding principle number 3. Cultivate a spirit of perseverance. You will develop a healthy body if you have strength of mind and train fearlessly. I cannot think of a guiding principle that is more suited for right now than anything else. You will have a healthy body if you have strength of mind. Right now, we all want to go out without our masks. We're getting tired of it. But if you have a strong mind, you're going to keep doing it so you can stay healthy and keep the people healthy around you. We're not going out. There's nobody. It's really hard to be held accountable right now. But here you all are practicing karate with me, keeping yourself in better shape. That's strength of mind. And then training fearlessly. I love that. I love that, just the way it sounds, to train fearlessly. There are lots of things that are scary. There's lots of things that can make us hurt. There's lots of things to be afraid of. But one of my favorite quotes about fear is that being brave doesn't mean we're not afraid. Being brave means being afraid, but doing it anyway. When we train, I'm afraid of getting hurt. I'm getting older. My injuries are not healing the way they should. That's life. When I train, I'm afraid of that. But it's not my training. I train fearlessly. I train like I'm not going to get hurt. Like it's not something I need to worry about. Train fearlessly. This goes through so many things in our life too. Training, I mean, I'm a big proponent of every day in the dojo. That means everywhere is a dojo and everything can be training. So that means when you go through your life, you can acknowledge your fear and be like, yep, I'm afraid of that. Maybe for a good reason, maybe not. But I'm not going to make my decisions based off that fear. I'm going to train fearlessly. I'm going to live fearlessly. You know, that doesn't mean, well, I'm going to train fearlessly, so therefore I'm going to step in that bear trap. No, that's being dumb. That's not being fearless. That's being dumb. Oh, I know this is going to hurt and it isn't going to get me anything, so I'm going to do it. No, that's not being fearless. That's just not being smart. And then all the way, back to the first part. Cultivate a spirit of perseverance. Grow that inside you that helps you keep going. And sometimes that means slowing down and taking care of yourself. I am really bad about that in some ways and really good in others. I get hurt and I just push through. I don't slow down. My running, I let you know I'm a runner. I've actually adopted a new training program where I have to slow down. And I found that as I'm doing this, it's actually even harder for me to just run slow. Because when I get tired, I'd be like, I'm going to push even harder. And that would get me through it. Well, by cultivating that spirit of perseverance and making myself go slow, which is better for my body, it's actually even harder. Because all I can do is persevere. I can't push through. I don't get that big, like, yeah! Just have to persevere. And then sometimes I just don't run because my shins hurt. And that is so I can try harder the next day. When we were black belt testing, that was one big thing that I was doing the calisthenics with my group. And I say this, and it's something that I do believe in. We rest so we can push harder the next time. Because that rest will give you the energy to push and go and keep going. If you just burn out, you can't really persevere that way. All right, everybody. Good job today. We got all the way through Tomari Seisan. Kitsuke. Make sure everybody's seeing that. Kitsuke. And all right. Domo arigatou gozaimasu. Os. Dominique. All right. Karate no Michi. And to all of you, all right. Konbanwa. Have a good evening. Enjoy the weather.
Goodbye, everybody.